Destiny, is the president literally at the head and in control of all the money? Does he hold a button, or could these agencies not just go with the courts and continue to take their funds? No, the president does not have the right to just not disperse money or not spend the money. People are, and when I say people, let me be clear, maggots and conservative dipshits that want to carry water for Trump are making this really retarded argument where they pretend not to understand language or structure, and they say, oh, well, actually, the president's the one who decides how to spend the money. Yes, that is true. But like, I think somebody in chat might have used this example earlier. Let's say that I give you $200 to go grocery shopping, and I say, hey, can you get like $100 of like sodas and candies and shit, and like $100 of like deli meat or whatever, I guess, I don't know, setting up a party and getting groceries or whatever. I've given you the $200. Now you have to go to the store and you have to spend it on roughly what I told you to spend it on. Now, when you go to the store, maybe you pick which deli meats you want. That's within your ability. And maybe for sodas, you pick which sodas you want. That's within your ability. You have the control to do that. But you can't go to the store and say, actually, I'm going to pocket the $200. I'm not going to spend any of this. Actually, I'm not going to spend it. You go home and you're like, oh, I didn't spend anything. No, what do you mean? I literally gave you that money and I told you had to spend it. You can decide. You have discretion on how you want to manage it, how you want to spend it, on what particular things within the categories that I've defined for you. But that doesn't mean that you can just not spend it. That was literally the job I gave you. For some reason, people are pretending to not understand the distinction between these two things. Well, it's not for some reason. It's so that Trump can do literally whatever they want. The real reality when you're dealing with a conservative is, remember, Trump can do literally whatever he wants at any point in time. Trump can murder and rape and pillage and do whatever, and they will always, always, always find a reason to explain why he should be allowed to do that thing. There's no action that Trump can take that these people would find illegal, ever. White House says that a large bruise on Trump's hand is from shaking hands all day, every day. Is it called hematolia or what is it called when you like bruise super easily if somebody touches you? Hemophilia. Ooh, that's a scary one. How do you pronounce that? Are you okay, dude? No, man. I'm a hemophile. Oh, it's thrombocytopenia, of course. How could I forget? Isn't there a simpler name for that? Maybe I was thinking of hemophilia, but it's just for blood clotting, which isn't. Or no, maybe it is. Because if you don't clot very easily, then you bruise more easily too. Maybe? Fuck you. I don't know. Correct me if I'm misunderstanding since I'm European, but do Americans not understand that when Putin likes your country, it's probably a bad decision? Okay, let me help you out here, okay? Because you're European, so you're a little bit slow. So let me give you let me help you out here, buddy, okay? Okay, if you're European, let me give you some guidance. You said, correct me if I'm misunderstanding. Now, if the conversation is about foreign policy, all right, but do Americans not understand just this doesn't matter? The answer is always yes, okay? The answer is always yes. They don't. It doesn't really matter what you're putting after this. If it has to do with foreign policy, the answer is always yes. Don't waste your time typing anything past this point, okay? Average Americans never even left their country. No offense, it's a huge country, okay? We don't need to leave our country. We have everything you could ever ask for. This is God's holy land.
Near miss, this happened at Midway Airport. Stunning video showing the Southwest Airlines flight dodging a small plane as it crossed the runway just as the larger aircraft was coming in for a landing. Let's watch this here.
Oh, it looked like there was something crossing down the screen here. And it's like, okay, yeah, that was pretty close, I guess. But holy shit, this is way closer than I thought. What the fuck?
The larger aircraft was coming in for a landing.
Oh, this guy's about to get fucking murked. What's going on in here?
Let's watch this here. Well, goes around. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
Hello?
Wow. Talk about an incursion into the runway. Somebody.
Another attempted hijacking by Dark Woke.
Tonight, hashtag Dark Woke. Crash another plane. And another thing. Every day that wokeness is not reinstated in this country, people will DEI. Starting tonight. I'm a day them of my word.
And I would imagine it's the small plane is going to get an earful from air traffic controllers about that. Watch, we'll play it again as it comes in. Just watch this.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's our understanding, John, that obviously this is a commercial jet, the Southwest plane that was attempting to land there.
Do you think if these two planes collide, is the smaller plane, I imagine, is obviously obliterated. I wonder if the larger plane would suffer damage severe enough that like passengers would die. I have no idea like what the jet fuel explosions or whatever would look like. When I looked at the video of that one plane that landed upside down and I saw the explosions from that, I was shocked that nobody died in that. That was insane. I was like, oh fuck. If I would just see a video of that, I'd assume all those people would have died. But I don't think there were any deaths in that. Since Trump's now handpicking who can ask him press questions by barring reporters from entry, I'm assuming press will turn into the WWE, but InfoWars, I mean, they've literally given passes to like all these crazy right-wing outlets, right? Like even OAN, I think, has a White House press pass now, right? At Destiny, hey, Pilot here. I can talk about this with a bit more knowledge. This was an error by either the ATC at airport or plane crossing runway. Okay. He said, wait, are you the pilot that emailed me before? He said both planes would be in a catastrophic situation and very much could result in explosion of both planes due to fuselage location of the 737. I guess for the plane to get that close, either because like one of the things, I'm way outside my area of expertise here, as I often am. Air traffic control towers aren't just there to like just say like air good. Like they also like actively reroute traffic if there is an accident or if somebody has to make an emergency landing or if for some reason conditions are such that a plane can't land. So I would imagine that the ATCT should probably be communicating to this airplane, and probably is, I would imagine, right? Hey, there's a plane in front of you. Watch the fuck out. So something is going on here, I'm guessing, right? At Destiny, the issue is that one plane almost hit another plane, and so I had to keep flying and not land. I'm not a pilot, by the way. Sure. Was that were you just stating what happened? The ATC probably told the small plane to hold short of the runway, but pilot went ahead. Oh, I guess, but like, again, I'm pretty sure that for how air traffic is directed, it shouldn't just be like one little mistake that causes an accident. Like I think multiple people have to be fucking up. Like I don't know if the ATC needs to clear you to cross the runway. Like, would it really be the case that an airplane is parked in an area and all they have to do is go forward to cause a catastrophe? I feel like there would have been a little bit more space to separate them. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. At Destiny, correct, but each are communicating with different controllers. Plane crossing, likely talking to ground, while pilot landing, likely talking to tower. Destiny Doctor here. The plane shouldn't be going across the runway at that time. Office of Personnel Management. Giving 5 bullets on what you did last week is so easy that even the busy White House press secretary found time to do it. $9.89. I'm supposed to fly to Detroit next month. Should I just drive or find an Amtrak? Just make sure you hit that recurring subscription button before you hop on that plane. Hey, Taylor. In the effort of transparency and accountability, I am pleased to inform you of 5 tasks that I completed last week. Though the list of everything that I completed is much longer. One thing that people kind of said, I don't remember if I said this or not. One thing that's like a little, it's also comical, bro. Oh, no, wait. I don't know if this actually happened or if it's just like a proverb or whatever. But there was that story that we... There was that story that we read where the guy, the guy brings in like a fucking horse and he calls it a deer, and the all of the people around him that were like, hold on, that's not a deer, that's a horse. He eventually like fabricates charges to have all those people executed. But anybody that was willing to go along with him and call it a deer, even though they knew it was obviously not a deer, he knew that those were loyal people because they were sycophants. I wonder if like an email like this serves to some extent that function. Like anybody that actually would follow through and email me back, these are like people I can rely on because they're willing to go through with my crazy, unhinged, stupid bullshit. No, it was a ruse to find federal employees that signed with their pronouns. See below, held a press briefing to mark 1 month of the Trump admin with special guests Mike Waltz, Stephen Miller, and Kevin Hassett. Gave speech at CPAC. Staffed POTUS for CPAC speech on Saturday. Joined Fox News. Participated in Media Row and the EEEOB. P.S. I am so grateful to have a job and work hard on behalf of the American taxpayers who fund my salary. This email took me 2 minutes to draft. Thank you. Where's the Squidward picture? Hold on. Squidward, dick in throat. Ugh. And then also just restating this, even though it doesn't mean anything and whatever, but like the ultimate irony of all of these guys who talk about the unnecessary bureaucracy and all of the bullshit meetings and the wasted time and all these stupid managers. It's like, make sure you just send an email. Send an email, guys, to some random fucking guy who has no idea what the fuck your job is, who has no idea what the fuck is. Send an email, let him know what's going on. Like, oh my God. Somebody said there's supposed to be audio? Here it is at 1710.
60, turn left on runway 4 left, cross runway 31 left, and hold short of runway 31 center.
Right, left on 4 left, cross 22 or 13 center, flex jet 560.
Exit 560 negative, cross runway 31 left, hold short runway 31 center.
Cross 31 left, hold short 31 center, flex jet.
Flex jet 560, is that this guy right here? So I think it's this dude right here. Hold on, fuck me. Now we're gonna come an airplane expert next, okay?
22 or 13 center, flex jet 560.
Exit 560 negative, cross runway 31 left, hold short runway 31 center.
Cross 31 left, hold short 31 center, flex jet 560.
So it's this guy. He was told to
Hold short.
Hold short 31 center. I'm guessing 31 center, I'm guessing is this landing strip or this runway or whatever the fuck. And hold short means he's not supposed to cross.
31 center, flex jet 560.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen an airplane land. Like if I've been in a plane and I've looked and I've seen another plane like right the fuck there. Jesus, that's spooky. Jeremy says, so he did not get clearance to cross runway. He was told to turn and hold short of runway. Yeah, okay. Now we've got a plane. Oh, like this is so... Oh, and they call him out. Yeah, they're like, hey, bro, fucking stop. Imagine, like, I don't know how many people are employed here, right? But like, man, bro, this has got to be a crazy fucking insane job. Like you're looking at, like they called that out like immediately, right? Like who else knows like what the fuck these guys are watching or what's going on? And I'm sure they've got some system to help them, but like, whew. He got the runways confused and the readback was incorrect, which the ATC should have caught. Wait, really? Hold on.
Left on.
Turn left on runway 4 left, cross runway 31 left, and hold short of runway 31 center.
Right, left on 4 left, cross 22 or 13 center, flex jet 560.
Exit 560 negative, cross runway 31 left, hold short runway 31 center.
Cross 31 left, hold short 31 center, flex jet 560.
He did call it out. It seems like he corrected him, right? And he said it there. Okay, he called him out, he corrected it. It was like, okay, cross 31 left. I'm assuming this is 31 left, this thing, and then hold short 31 center.
Zero.
The readback was correct, right? Yeah.
Roger.
And then...
Southwest 2504 going around.
2504, Roger that, maintain 3000.
Exit 560, hold your position there. 2504 up to 3000.
Hold position, flex jet 560.
Exit 560, continue across the hold short of hotel.
Cross hold short hotel, flex jet 560.
Exit 560, your instructions are to hold short of runway 31 center.
Is that normal? Would you tell somebody this is what you were supposed to do? Or I feel like you have to... Now we just... Oof.
So 2504, unable, turn left heading 220.
Yeah, okay.
Left heading 220, Southwest 2504.
Jesus. Destiny, the first person to read back is a junior pilot. Sounds like the captain read back as correct.
Flight jet 560, hold right there, sir. Don't move.
Hold position 560.
Damn.
That's Tower Southwest 2504. How'd that happen?
What was the answer? I don't know how much like discipline or whatever they do over the air traffic. Like I don't know how many frequencies are open Like, does everybody hear everything going on, or? Why are their mics so bad? I think all of this is over radio frequency, right? And on radio communications, I think because the wavelengths are, I don't know the relationship, but longer wavelengths or something means that for some reason that means less data can be contained. Why would that be the case? I guess higher, because you can't modulate it as much, I guess, because you only have so many like peaks and troughs per second or whatever, so there's less chance to, like, I don't know, maybe, I guess, yeah. That makes sense. Like, if I had a wavelength that was like 1 hertz or whatever, does that even make sense to say that? If it was 1 hertz, then I could only ever communicate like a single bit of information, like a 0 or a 1, or would it have to be 2 hertz? And then every doubling would be more information, right? Is that correct, or am I totally off on that? Am I like intuitively in that? I think it's like in that direction. That's why that's why you clear up higher bandwidth for like high quality digital communication. Like Wi-Fi is like 2.4 gigahertz or 5 point whatever gigahertz or whatever bullshit. So, yeah. So the frequencies are going to sound lower quality here, but it's all the equipment is obviously super reliable, and I think longer wavelength, meaning lower frequency communications, are more resistant to environmental effects and atmospheric effects. Like if you have a very, very high frequency wavelength and you try to shoot it through like drywall, it might not make it. That's why like your Wi-Fi shit might be really bad from one room to the next. But if you're shooting radio frequencies, I think that it goes through a lot better. I don't know why.
Extreme left. Protest me. Well, listen, extreme left.
Thank you for auto muting. That's what I wanted.
Well, listen, extreme left protest me more than they protest Donald Trump. Because literally, wherever I go. So I think in part because I've declined, I've refused, I've chosen not to bend the knee to either people on the far left, and certainly not to Donald Trump and the far right. We all have a responsibility to serve the people we were elected to represent and the country and the Constitution. And I certainly have not been bashful and will not be bashful in disagreeing with people who are trying to take this country in a direction that doesn't lift everybody up, whether that comes from the right or whether that comes from the far left. Well, listen, extreme left.
I feel like for some reason we don't like this Hakeem Jeffries guy, or I feel like I see bad stuff about him posted on my subreddit. But I don't remember why. Seems like you guys just don't like him. He said there's nothing Dems can do right now. That was part of a larger statement that he said, and I think I largely agree with him. Here is the reality, and I've said this about our media environment as well. People want to point the finger and blame like the media, the lobbyists, the whatever. Why is the media so bad? Because you fuckers watch it. That's why it's so bad. Why aren't the Democrats doing anything? Because you didn't fucking vote for them, right? Like, if Republicans won the popular vote for the presidency, the Electoral College for the presidency, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, then that's what the American people voted for. To some extent, that's the will that the government should exercise. So especially if you're a non-voter, like you can't really complain about anything. Like if you don't like it, vote to change it. Don't expect somebody to, it's like sending somebody hunting with no ammunition and blaming them for not bringing them back any food. And then you punish them by giving them an even smaller gun, also with no ammunition in it. It's like, the fuck? I agree, but I don't want my reps checking out while their constituents are losing their jobs. They're not checking out, but I mean, like, effectively, they have to become activists, basically, is what we're asking of them, which we would hope they can do. But, like, you're asking for a pretty exceptional thing, which Republicans don't really do. Right now we're waiting for the courts. There's not much. They can't really do anything besides, like, go protest and get arrested. That's basically all they can do. Like, that's it. AOC at least speaks to the public, trying to get them on their side. Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, do people even listen that much now to AOC? Like, it's just videos and... I could be wrong, Destiny, but devil's advocate, I think they long for leadership, but just through oratory. They need leaders that can speak like AOC and Conor Brennan. Yeah, I mean, I think it can help. But again, like, I think like one of your issues is that like, this is a vibe feeling I get. One of your issues is that a lot of like center-left Democrats probably just aren't like ultra plugged into media. They live normal lives. They have normal jobs. They go home and it's whatever. And like conservatives have become the mirror image of like the woke progressive kid, where you'll be like in the middle of nothing and somebody will, did you see that epic fucking ownage of the Doge trans stuff or whatever? And I'm not even saying that necessarily the average conservative voter is like that, but they're just, because conservatism is like infected every part of their media landscape, they've been taken over by, like, every part of their mind is constantly being inundated with conservative shit. Wait, hold on. I'm not going to be able to find this. I know I'm not going to be able to find this, and it's going to trigger me. Does anybody remember any key words that I could look up? The homogeneity of some of these parties, I guess, was interesting to me. And I think this was prior to the First World War even. These milieu, with their party newspapers, clubs, and societies, were unusually rigid and homogenous. Already before 1914, this had resulted in a politicization of whole areas of life that in other societies were much freer from ideological identifications. Thus, if an ordinary German wanted to join a male voice choir, for instance, he had to choose in some areas between a Catholic and a Protestant choir, in others between a socialist and a nationalist choir. The same went for gymnastics clubs, cycling clubs, football clubs, and the rest. A member of the Social Democratic Party, before the war, could have virtually his entire life encompassed by the party and its organizations. He could read a Social Democratic newspaper, go to a Social Democratic pub or bar, belong to a Social Democratic trade union, borrow books from the Social Democratic library, go to Social Democratic festivals and plays, marry a woman who belonged to the Social Democratic Women's Organization, enroll his children in the Social Democratic Youth Movement, and be buried with the aid of a Social Democratic burial fund. Similar things could be said of the Center Party, which could rely on the mass organization of supporters in the People's Associations for a Catholic Germany, the Catholic Trade Union Movement, and Catholic leisure, and societies of all kinds, but also to a certain extent of other parties too. The sharply defined political cultural milieu did not disappear with the advent of the Weimar Republic, but the emergence of commercialized mass leisure, the boulevard press based on sensation and scandal, the cinema, cheap novels, dance halls, and leisure activities of all kinds began in the 1920s to provide alternative sources of identification for the young, who were thus less tightly bound to political parties than their elders were. Reading that, this is not like, by the way, this is not like the thing that led to Nazism or any of that, but it was just interesting to see the encompassing of all parts of life by some of these parties early on. I guess, like I said, growing up, I feel like the left had like Jon Stewart, and then that was it. Otherwise, if you were young, you just weren't that plugged in. Whereas now, oh my God, you're plugged into all the conservative stuff. Wait, one quick meme, and then we did this real stuff. Is brake checking at yellow light after crossing the line considered reckless driving? Oh, do you think he was I don't think this car was brake checking. I think the car thought he could make it and then was like, oh, fuck, I should stop. Damn. This is the driver's fault 1,000,000,000%. What the fuck? The driver. The guy recording. Sorry. The guy recording. He's tailgating this dude like fucking crazy. He's just trying to beat the light. And he knows he's probably running a red light. That's why he's so up on this dude's ass. It looks like... Yeah. The guy recording thought he could make it. Well, he wanted to follow this dude through the intersection, basically. People are saying he couldn't see the yellow because of the truck. I don't know if I believe you. This guy probably just wasn't paying attention. Like, it looks like there's plenty of space on the left here, and you've got lights on both sides. I don't think I'm buying that this guy couldn't see any of the lights here. Wouldn't want to drive with Destiny? Because I'm saying you shouldn't be tailgating a guy trying to beat a light? Are you fucking retarded? What the fuck? Oh, wait. This is a turn light over here, actually. I'm sorry, I just noticed that. This guy might not have been able to see the light then. Destiny, it's high volume traffic. You can't not tailgate. I'm sorry, but if you're tailgating at like 40 miles an hour, you better be in a small car. That's all I'm going to say. Show me what this guy's driving. It looks like a big vehicle. If you want to drive, listen, I'm a big proponent of my patented system. I call it offensive, defensive driving, okay? If you want to drive offensively, that's fine. Just make sure that you are paying attention enough and have the proper vehicle to do so. If you want to follow somebody like this, fine, fucking do it. A+, go for it. And the driver even looks like he reacted quickly, which is good, so he's paying attention, but it doesn't look like he's in the proper vehicle to be up somebody's ass like this, because if this guy slams on his brakes, for any reason, by the way, and it could be a fucking ball rolling into the street, it could be a kid, it could be a deer, it could be a Gryffindor flying down, okay, and coming in front of the car, for any fucking reason, and you can't stop, you fucked yourself. There's never any reason. There are highly limited reasons why you should ever be tailgating somebody so closely that you can't stop in the event of them having to emergency brake. So, there's just no reason. I'm sorry. If you're in some huge-ass, stupid fucking vehicle, whatever the fuck this guy's driving, drive smaller fucking cars. Be a normal human being. And if you want to drive some big shit like this, then be nice, drive in your big vehicle and enjoy your AC and your loud music or whatever the fuck. But don't tailgate people, because you can't stop or tailgate bigger cars. Just tailgate this guy. If he was tailgating the truck, that'd be fine, because you can probably stop faster than the truck. Destiny, what's your opinion on people who both go straight on an intersection, but one actually plans on turning with no blinker and they swipe you? Well, they played a risky game. Sometimes we got to take those gambles and make illegal turns, because fuck waiting in the correct lane. But listen, you're gambling, and if you get in an accident, it's your fault. What are you going to do? Destiny doesn't understand how physics works. Sorry, the only thing I understand is usually when you push the pedal on your car that brakes, it slows down. And you should probably be far enough from the car in front of you that you can always slow down if they slow down. That's my limited understanding of things. But, maybe I don't know. This is not real.
Anything else, it's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people.
Don't we already have visas or investment paths to U.S. citizenship? U.S. citizenship investment. I feel like most countries have this. USCIS administers the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program, which was created by Congress in 1990 to stimulate the U.S. economy through job creation, capital investment by foreign investors. Under program first enacted as a pilot in 1982, regular authorized since, investors may qualify for the EB-5 classification by investing through regional centers designated by USCIS based on proposals promoting economic growth. All EB-5 investors must invest in a new commercial enterprise that was established after November 20, 1990. New commercial enterprise means any for-profit activity. The definition does not include non-commercial activities such as owning and operating a personal residence. Full-time position for at least 10 employees. Minimum investment amount. Targeted employment area investment amount. High employment. Okay, so about $1 million or more. So am I missing something? So we already have this, right?
And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before or anything like this, but it's something that we're...
Never done anything before like that. Okay.
Going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it? Something else that's going to be very...
Okay. Maybe the 5 million one will have less restrictions, I guess.
Coming in the dikes and other means of transportation. Isn't that beautiful? Who would believe that?
This guy is printing out his tweets, his Truth Social posts.
That's all water they could have had. I went to the governor during my first term and I said, why don't you do this? And they said they have an environmental problem with clean water. If this water were there, you wouldn't have had those fires. You had sprinklers. They make people put sprinklers in the ceiling of a home and they had no water in them. With this, they would have had a lot of water in them. They would have all been full. They would have had you would have had a whole different deal down there. You probably wouldn't have had a fire, but if it was, it would have been small, would have been put out. You had the fire hydrants not working in California. So it's a beautiful site. These are canals that were built. These were all built. And you saw them for years. They were empty, concrete. They call them the V-shapes or the half pipes. That's coming in the...
That's not a real quote. And I can't believe this guy, who's normally a good tweeter, I can't believe he would actually put that in the tweet. There's no way that Trump actually says this. He must be. He's absolutely disingenuously quoting Trump here.
Be eligible for a gold. Would Russian oligarch be eligible for a gold card?
Yeah, possibly. Hey, I know some Russian oligarchs that are very nice people. It's possible.
They're laughing because they think he's joking. They don't realize how fucking retarded he is. Who is it? This guy over here? I don't know who this is. He's laughing because he's like, this is a joke, right? He's obviously joking, right?
Very nice people. It's possible. They're not quite as wealthy as they used to be. They're not as wealthy as they used to be.
This is sad. This is elder abuse.
I think they can afford. I think they can afford $5 million. No, a lot of people are going to want to. A lot of people are going to want to be in this country, and they'll be able to work and provide jobs and build companies and pay taxes. All of those things. It's an incredible. It's an incredible thing. I mean, this is the group that is the first to hear it. Nobody's heard about it. Nobody ever thought about it. But we've been thinking about it very, very strongly over the last week. And I was going to announce it sometime next week, and I figured, why not? We have a lot of cameras blazing right now. We might as well do it now. We'll have Caroline announce it the next time.
This is just the start of the process. Can you say unequivocally that further down the line there won't be any cuts to Medicaid programs?
Yeah, so look, let me clarify what we're talking about with Medicaid. Medicaid is hugely problematic because it has a lot of...
Lake and Riley? Man, they're getting a lot of mileage out of this dead girl. Jesus.
Fraud, waste, and abuse. Everybody knows that. We all know it intuitively. No one in here would disagree. We had a hearing in budget just last week, or week before last, and they asked the experts, and the estimate is, I think it's $50 billion a year.
The experts? Who the fuck are the experts? What?
Because it has a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. Everybody knows that.
Remember, and we've seen so far, right? When they say fraud, waste, and abuse, they mean program we don't like. Because remember, up to this point, Doge has proven and even cited evidence for exactly 0 examples of fraud, waste, and abuse. Not a single example. Wait. God, I hate these people.
Let me clarify what we're talking about with Medicaid. Medicaid is hugely problematic because it has a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. Everybody knows that. We all know it intuitively. No one in here would disagree. We had a hearing in budget just last week, or week before last, and they asked the experts, and the estimate is, I think it's $50 billion a year in fraud alone in Medicaid. Those are precious taxpayer dollars. Everybody is committed to preserving Medicare benefits for those who desperately need it and deserve it and qualify for it.
Wait. Medicare or Medicaid? Is he just using these interchangeably, or?
Precious taxpayer dollars. Everybody $1 billion a year, or week before last. And they asked the experts, and the estimate is, I think it knows that. We all know it intuitively. No one in here.
Wait, sorry.
Hugely problematic because it has a lot of fraud. Let me clarify what we're talking about with Medicaid. Medicaid. Is hugely problematic because it has a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. Everybody knows that. We all know it intuitively. No one in here would disagree. We
just know that intuitively, of course. Let's just presuppose.
We had a hearing in budget just last week, or week before last, and they asked the experts, and the estimate is, I think it's $50 billion a year in fraud alone in Medicaid. Those are precious taxpayer dollars. Everybody is committed to preserving Medicare benefits for those who desperately need it and deserve it and qualify for it. What we're talking about is rooting out the fraud, waste, and abuse. Every taxpayer, it doesn't matter what party you're in, you should be for that because it saves your money and it preserves the programs so that it is available for the people who desperately need it. That's what we're about. And
you said that this is...
Okay, still no examples. The media should just say over and over again, prove it, prove it. Where's the proof? Show proof, show proof. Where is the proof of this? Oh, Good Claire, not evil Claire. Good Claire says, have we the people actually been shown the proof of all this waste and fraud? He and other R's say that same talking point and say we all know, but we don't know. Why isn't the press asking for the proof? True! Also, I already know what all of these replies to her are going to be like, you idiot, haven't you seen their Twitter account? Okay, or it'll be actual schizos. Let all in creation call Yahweh, the author of confusion, before any of Elise Oyinkromenephi's prayers and declarations according to his will on X and everywhere, verbal too, are ever stopped, overturned, affected even 0.1% in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, U900 GTEF SF. Ukraine agrees minerals deal with U.S. Kyiv has agreed terms with Washington on a... Is this translated from another language, or is this all just like weird nouns that are technically written correctly, but it just reads weird? Ukraine agrees minerals deal with U.S. Kyiv has agreed terms with Washington. I guess it's technically correct. On a minerals deal that Ukrainian officials hope will improve relations with the Trump administration and pave the way for a long-term U.S. security commitment. Pave the way? Bro. Ukrainian officials say Kyiv is now ready to sign the agreement on jointly developing its mineral resources, including oil and gas, after the U.S. dropped demands for a right to $500 billion in potential revenue from exploiting the resources. Okay. Although the text lacks explicit security guarantees, the officials argued that they had negotiated far more favorable terms and depicted the deal as a way of broadening the relationship with the U.S. to shore up Ukraine's prospects after 3 years of war. The minerals agreement is only part of the picture. We have heard multiple times from the U.S. administration that it's part of a bigger picture. Yeah. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister and Justice Minister, who has led the negotiations, told the Financial Times on Tuesday. Ukrainian official with knowledge of the matter said that Zelensky was planning to travel to Washington on Friday to see Trump and formalize the deal. On Tuesday, Trump appeared to confirm his Ukrainian counterpart's visit, saying, I hear that Zelensky's coming on Friday. Certainly it's okay with me if you'd like to. So what exactly is the agreement? I don't understand, like, what is Ukraine even getting? So there's no security guarantees. Is there even... Is Russia going to end the war?
With Ukraine and this mineral deal, what does Ukraine get in return, Mr. President?
$350 billion and lots of equipment, and military equipment, and the right to fight on, and originally the right to fight. Look, Ukraine, I will say they're very brave and they're good soldiers, but without the United States and its money and its military equipment, this war would have been over in a very short period of time. In fact,
I wonder if when he says $350 billion, if he's referring to all of the money that he thinks we've already given them. Oh, no. Is this actually true? I haven't dug into this, but it might be worth digging into. So, one of the things that people said was, look, isn't this kind of corrupt? There's a $400 million deal from the U.S. government to buy Tesla Cybertrucks as armored vehicles or whatever. And then more information came out and people were like, well, it looks like this was a contract that was authorized under the Biden admin, so it's fine, right? It's not like the Biden admin was being rigged by Elon or whatever. Whatever you're trying to say about Trump doesn't apply here. But now apparently more information has come out saying that that contract was originally like $480,000, but somehow it got upped to $400 million when it wasn't what it was supposed to originally be. The controversy started in a very Washington way as a line item in a government spreadsheet buried on the State Department's website. It appeared as if the State Department was taking steps to award Elon Musk's Tesla a $400 million government contract to buy armored electric vehicles to securely transport diplomats. The move to set in motion a lucrative contract to a company controlled by a high-profile ally of President Trump seemed so bold, it surprised even longtime observers of the norm-busting president. When asked about it, the State Department issued a statement saying the purchase is now on hold with no plans of fulfilling the contract, pointing out that talks with Tesla began during the Biden administration. But NPR has obtained a State Department document detailing that Biden's State Department planned to spend just $483,000 in the 2025 fiscal year on buying electric vehicles and $3 million for supporting the equipment, like charging stations. It represented less than 1% of the hundreds of millions of dollars likely destined for Tesla vehicles after the Trump administration quietly revised a State Department procurement document. The vast discrepancy in the numbers raises the question, I like how they said raises instead of begs, good job, was it an error or deliberate action? A former Biden White House official familiar with the State Department's plans told NPR the steps taken to advance $400 million worth of government business to Tesla appears to be intentional. I don't think this is a clerical error. It was likely someone who is new in the State Department who decided, okay, we're going to do this with Tesla, said the former official who is not authorized to speak about the matter. The person said the State Department and Tesla had agreed during the Biden admin to conduct research about armoring electric vehicles, but no money had been set aside to purchase armored Teslas for the State Department. A total budget of $483,000 had been approved to buy light-duty EVs as possible State Department vehicles. That plan was moving forward as recently as November 2024. The White House and Musk did now return multiple requests for comment. In a statement to NPR on Monday, a State Department spokesperson said the $400 million figure was an estimate, pointing out that it was in the early stages and was not yet a full contract, but rather a proposal strictly to gather information. The department spokesman said, the Department of State has no intention to move forward with the solicitation. In a February 13th post on his social media platform X, Musk, who is also a top White House official, said, I'm pretty sure Tesla isn't getting $400 million. No one mentioned it to me, at least. After the original procurement document attracted widespread attention, NPR reported that the Trump administration appeared to have quietly edited the document, changing the phrase armored Tesla to the more generic armored electric vehicles without explanation. Eventually, the line or the item vanished from the State Department's procurement document. The document claims it was originally published in December at the end of then President Joe Biden's term, but it does not appear in the Internet Archive for that month. The $400 million item in the procurement document caused a stir. Since then, Trump officials have not answered why the State Department appeared to be taking steps to purchase or to pursue an acquisition of electric vehicles from Tesla, with the company's stainless steel Cybertruck likely being the most suitable option for an armored vehicle. The proposed purchase amount would likely exceed what the entire federal government would spend on electric vehicles in 2025. Just Elon Musk casually undermining the division of powers in the government. It's good. If any judge anywhere can block every presidential order everywhere, we do not have democracy. We have tyranny of the judiciary. Hello. It's almost like federal judges have the authority to rule on federal matters that impact the entirety of the United States of America. It's almost like that's what the whole point of the federal judiciary is. Disbar, impeach, indict, imprison, and then deport all activists. And then deport? Imprison and deport? All right, based. What am I zooming in on? Is it Elon? I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Is this what I'm looking at? The mirror. Oh. Ugh. Oh my God, bro. It's the middle manager Titan. Oh no.